Hello there, guys, girls, those undecided, and those in between. This is the Beauty Moron checking back in. Thank you so much for joining me again on my channel. So for today's video, I want to talk more about my new piercing. Like I discussed or touched on in my hash haul video, I did recently go out and get a new piercing, and I did say I was going to do a video about that. For those of you who might be interested in getting this done, or maybe have never heard of it before, I would like some more information. Or for those of you who are like, oh my god, she really has a lot going on her face, and she really needs something else. For those of you, I say, live my life. Let me live my life. Yes, let me live my life. Okay, so this is called, informally, it's called the Ashley piercing. I believe that technical name for it is the inverse vertical labret piercing. I believe that's what it's called. The vertical labret piercing, so labret of course goes right here. It's the one that kind of looks like it goes through your lip and your chin. So the vertical labret would go straight through the lip that way. And what the inverse vertical labret does is the way that the ball sits here on my lip, it actually goes through the back. So as you can see, there's like a little metal part here, so it kind of goes kind of like a diagonal here through my lip. So I found this piercing very interesting when I started to see it a lot on my Instagram. I started to see a lot of beauty influencers and makeup artists and things like that would have this piercing, and so I really kind of wondered, like, what was it? Was it painful? You know, what was it going to take to get it done? Yada, yada, yada. How long was the healing process? Because the last time I got piercings done, I was disappointed. I actually had my nipples pierced for a while. I know that's TMI alert. We'll put that in the video, like somewhere up front, that was TMI alert. And so the healing process for that and the aftercare process for that was just very stressful, and it ended up getting to the point where I actually had to take them out about a year after having them done. And for those of you out there who have piercings, I don't know about you, but whenever I have to take a piercing out, I always feel very like disappointed and defeated, like I kind of like gave up on my piercing, you know? So I was really disappointed. So I wanted to make sure that the next time I got a piercing done, that it was one that I could stick with and one that I wouldn't have to pay for and then take out a little while later. So I definitely went online and did some more research about the piercing. And something I found when researching piercings, and if you guys have found similars, please let me know in the comments. But I found when researching piercings online that it can be very, like the information is just all over the place. Like you'll hear people, so specifically with the hint of this piercing, some people said it was like the most painful piercing they've ever experienced. And then some people said it was like the easiest thing ever. It was like no more than a mosquito bite. And then some people said that it was like really hard to take care of. And then some people said that the aftercare was like super easy. And then some people said that the aftercare involved this, and this. And other people said that no, you shouldn't do those things because you have to do this, and this. So it was just a really kind of like complicated, just annoying process. And I found that happens a lot with a lot of different piercing questions, that it's just the information, depending on the website or the person that you ask or the message board you go to, can just be like so all over the place. And the actual experience of getting it done, again, this is from a personal experience because everyone's pain tolerance is different, but on a scale of like 1 to 10 of the actual piercing process, I'd give it like a 3, maybe a 4. You know, compared to like when I got my septum done, that was probably like a 7. And getting my nipples pierced was definitely a freaking 10. Oh my god. So I mean, compared to those things, like this was gravy. This was really nothing. Very simple, in and out. I think we were there for maybe a minute or so once the actual process started. So that was the process in and of itself. And if you want to stay tuned, we're going to show you a little clip of me actually getting it done. Alright, so that was me getting the actual piercing done. So the aftercare of the piercing has been pretty chill, based on like research that I did and just kind of asking a couple questions and back and forth. What I do to take care of my piercing, I actually have a kind of a two-step thing, because since it's through the lip and then through the back of my mouth, the back of my lip, it is kind of a facial piercing and an oral piercing at the same time. So it requires kind of two different types of aftercare. So for the outside part, what I do is I use this wound wash, the Simply Saline wound wash, which, you know, it's just a saline solution. Of course, you can make your own with like a salt water combo, but I'm lazy and I hate having to make the combo myself. So it comes in this. So I use this and I drench a cotton ball in it. And then I add a little bit of this tea tree oil. I was reading that tea tree oil has healing properties. So if you kind of dilute it a little bit, and you can use it to apply like kind of the area around your piercing to help with the healing process. So I kind of dilute it a little bit with the saline solution on the cotton ball, and then I apply it for five minutes, not 5 seconds. So I apply it for about 5 minutes, and I do that 3 times a day. For the inside part, what I do is just make I do a salt water rinse. You know, just heat up some water, add some salt, you know, rinse my mouth out, and I do that twice a day. And then in the morning when I'm brushing my teeth, I use a non-alcoholic mouthwash to rinse it out that morning, and then I'll do the salt water rinses in the middle of the day and then at night. So that's basically the aftercare, and it's supposed to heal within about 3 months. I did end up having to go back to the piercer because the bar was too short, and so even though I knew that there was going to be some inflammation and some swelling with the new piercing, because all piercings are going to have that, the back part here I noticed was starting to sink into my lip. Like I could actually see the folds of my skin kind of like coming over the back part, and then the ball here, actually only half the ball was visible because it was falling into the front of my lip. And I noticed that when I was trying to gargle and you know, move my mouth around, it felt really tight and it was painful. And so after like 2 days of that, I went back to the piercer because I was like, I don't think that this is normal. And sure enough, he did put in a longer bar. So definitely, if you get a piercing, not just here, not just the Ashley, but anywhere, and you see it looking like it's starting to sink in and the swelling actually doesn't go down, then you definitely should go back to your piercer and see about getting a longer bar or something like that. Because if you don't do that, then having the pressure on that part of your body from having the bar being too short can actually keep the inflammation going, and it's not going to heal any faster. That's just something to keep in mind if you do get this piercing. Just to wrap up kind of the pros and cons of the Ashley piercing here. So for pros, I think it's really cool. I, thought it was going to be very, part of me was worried that it was going to be kind of garish and that it was going to stick out too much. But I found that it's not subtle because there's a ball sticking out of my face. I was not born this way. Obviously, this is an addition. But it doesn't like jump out in a way that I feel is like too much. That's something I did have to consider because, one thing with getting any type of visible piercing is, if you're trying to get a job later or something like that, you kind of have to consider what that's going to look like. Thankfully, the program that I'm in, it's not that big of a deal. So it's really not something that I kind of had to worry about, but that is definitely something to think about. Another pro is that it seems to be healing, especially now that I got the longer bar, it seems to be healing really beautifully, very simply. I haven't found it, the first couple days it was kind of rough chewing, and I kind of bit down on the back part a couple times. It hurt, but it's been, it's been healing really well. So I'm actually really excited about it and I don't regret getting it. The cons of having the piercing have been Of course, just the aftercare process, just remembering to do that, you know, can be, for people out there that are lazy, you know, it can just be kind of time consuming, you know, to have to take the extra time to do that. It is a weird feeling having it on my lip. My lip does feel a little bit heavier. I find sometimes recently when I'm trying to smile that I kind of smile in a weird way I haven't done before. I have this weird like Joker smile going on because I'm not used to having that extra weight in my lip, but I'm hoping as I get used to it that I'll go back to just kind of smiling regular. Another con is that the back part here does kind of click against my teeth sometimes when I talk. So if that's something that would annoy the hell out of you, don't get this piercing. You know, that's not something that really annoys me too much. So it's not really something that I worry about, but that is something there. And I think one of the biggest cons has been my lips have been really dry, almost chapped. Since I've gotten this done. I don't know if that has something to do with the swelling or the healing process or what, but they've definitely become chapped. I've tried different things. Like I said, I've read that tea tree oil would be good for that, but you're not, you know, supposed to apply that directly to the lips, and you know, you're not supposed to swallow tea tree oil. So I was kind of about, you know, putting that all over my lips and then me accidentally swallowing some. So what I found that works is this Hydrastick, the 2B Colours Hydrastick. I've just been applying this here on my lips. I usually apply it full on the top lip, and then I'll kind of apply it around the bottom part here for surface area, just to kind of like, I don't want it too close to the piercing because I don't want to get in there, but at the same time I am trying to hydrate some of my lip. So that seems to be working somewhat, but my lips are still very dry. And actually, of course, you know, drinking water, staying hydrated has helped a little bit as well. So that's it, those are the pros and cons. So that's pretty much it, guys. You know, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed learning more about the Ashley piercing. You know, if you guys have any other questions about this piercing or just any questions in particular, you know, hit me up. My Instagram is @thebeautymoron, all one word. Excuse me. And also, please remember to subscribe to my channel so I can keep doing all of these fun videos, because I want you to want me to do these videos. So I hope that you want me to you to want me to do these videos. Awesome. And I'll probably, you know, maybe in about a month or so when this is more healed, I may do a follow-up video just to talk about what the rest of the healing process and aftercare has been like. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And then until next time, this is The Beauty Moron. Peace.